Wall Street Journal. U.S. and its allies question Germany's reliability in the context of the crisis in Ukraine. The U.S., British and Eastern European authorities have doubts about the reliability of Germany as a partner on the position against Russia in the context of growing tensions in Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal writes that it's easy to explain one decision or one policy position, but when it all adds up, the impression is that Germany is not behaving as a reliable partner, the report says. According to the newspaper, there is a feeling that Germany not only hesitates, but also tries to prevent assistance to Ukraine. It noted that the FRG refused to supply lethal weapons to Ukraine and did not allow its NATO partners to send German-made weapons there. According to the newspaper, German diplomats advocated working out exceptions to the draft Western sanctions against Moscow so that Berlin could continue buying Russian gas. On January 25, the U.S. transferred 79 tons of cargo to Ukraine, including 300 Javelin missile systems. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz earlier said that Berlin does not supply lethal weapons to Ukraine, but this does not cancel the possibility of further cooperation and support in the future. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba noted that Ukrainians will remember for decades the German authorities' unwillingness to supply arms to Kiev. Secretary of State Blinken told Lavrov that the USA was ready to discuss security issues. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov had a telephone conversation in which the U.S. Secretary of State said that Washington was ready to discuss security issues with Moscow and its allies. This was reported by the State Department. At the same time, Blinken reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity and called on Russia to immediately de-escalate. The Secretary of State underscored the U.S. readiness, bilaterally and together with allies and partners, to continue a substantive exchange of views with Russia on mutual security issues, the press service of the U.S. Foreign Ministry reported. On January 26, the Russian Foreign Ministry received a written response from the United States to the proposals on security guarantees. The Russian side also received a response from NATO representatives. U.S. Permanent Representative to the United Nations Thomas Greenfield called the Security Council meeting on Ukraine an absolute success. U.S. Permanent Representative to the United Nations Linda Thomas Greenfield has said that the Security Council meeting on Ukraine was an absolute success. It was an absolute success for us in the sense that we allowed the world to hear what we heard from the Russians, TASS quoted Thomas Greenfield as saying. Russia's Deputy Ambassador to the UN, Dmitry Polyansky, said the UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine, which was organized at the request of the United States, was an example of megaphone diplomacy. Earlier, China objected to the US-led UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine. Russia's permanent representative to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, said during the UN Security Council meeting that the hysteria around Russia's alleged invasion is detrimental to Ukraine itself. Lebanese analyst, US considers Qatar an alternative source of gas for Europe. The United States is willing to negotiate with Qatar to create an alternative source of gas supplies to Europe. This opinion was expressed by General Elias Hanna, a Lebanese expert in the field of strategic studies. The United States wants to negotiate with Qatar to create an alternative source of gas supplies to Europe. This opinion was expressed by Lebanese strategic studies expert General Elias Hanna.